I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Sparky.
Salty and Chip.
Shout out to the big homie Chris.
Yeah.
Talking to you soon, my man. God almighty, what a story.
He sent us his, like a story of him when he was a kid. And he got like these serious burns. You should, it's well worth the watch. I mean, I'll post it in the description.
Will you really? Every time you say that, it never happens.
No, never happens. The boy behind the scars. If I don't put it there. No, it should be there.
It'll be there, inshallah.
Yeah, you had me in tears. Ah.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. On a serious note, though. Okay. This is Korn, Narcissistic Cannibal. This is off the Path to Totality record. Head was still gone.
Okay.
And I didn't really listen to Korn after Head left, but there's like a couple songs. This is like really one of the best Korn records, like, period.
Oh, really?
In my opinion.
This was before he left?
No, this is after he left.
You think it's better after he left?
No, it's not better after he left, because what happened was they incorporated dubstep into metal. Okay. And so it's like...
ridiculous.
It was... I remember the first time hearing it, I was on that assignment in Lexington. And it was like this 2-minute clip. I was like, oh my gosh, Korn's doing dubstep. Oh my god. And then I heard it, I was like, whoa. This is some different shit.
Really?
Like, whoa. Yeah, this is actually like one of my favorite records from Korn, like, period. Like, the songs are just really, really, really good. I can't believe, like, I can't believe they haven't done like another record like this. Or I can't believe that there aren't like more bands that do this, but I don't know. But anyway, let's do it. Narcissistic Cannibal. What's this here? see, with this song, like, I only heard the chorus. I didn't really listen to the lyrics.
Oh,
so,
okay. All right, ready?
Here we are. Yep.
Go. Oh, that's weird.
Desecrate my mind and rely on you. I
Way too short. Wow, I really like that one.
Record, it was like experimental. They were just like fucking around, you know, like
so the whole record is like that.
Whole record, yeah.
So when are we doing a live listen? Oh my gosh.
There'll be more.
I really liked this. What is that even called?
It's like dubstep and new metal step.
Dubstep sounds so dumb.
Yeah.
The words.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there you are.
I like that.
Yeah, like, I don't understand, like, this record should have been, like, I don't know. I got, what do you call it? Follow the Leader, I think, is the best record that they made. Everybody's gonna say, no, Korn is the best record.
This is my favorite one of all their songs so far, I think.
Yeah, Follow the Leader is the best record they made, in my opinion. That's probably an emotional vote, because that's the first Korn record I bought. Because Got the Life was the first Korn song I really liked. Whoa. Because I hated Freak on a Leash. Anytime I'm like, get out of here. Crazy white people jumping
Did you
around.
hate it like the same way you hate...
No, because I respected them. It's just that the song was on so fucking much.
Did you see that post that somebody put about if you were my dad, like the parent is like walking the child and there's like a disturbed there's like a person, they're like, stay away from those disturbed people or something like that, and then all of a sudden the character's right by the kid going, oh, wow, and the kid's like, oh, and the mom's like, no.
I can't deal with that shit. No,
okay,
no,
sorry,
I respected the oh wow, that just embarrassed me. It takes a lot to embarrass me, but I'm embarrassed for him.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out to Disturbed. Let's do an interview, fellas.
I like it. You can do it. I'll listen.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd like to do an interview with you. Master. Yeah. So the Follow Leader is the best record in my opinion. Then Korn, the album Korn, and then Issues. Issues is just another classic record for me. Very, very emotional record for me. And then I think this one. I think this is just one of their best records.
Gosh,
man.
I love it.
It's so different and whatever.
And I thought, well, it's called Narcissistic Cannibal, so I'm like, this is gonna be so depressing.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was just talking about somebody in their life that's like that and how horrible it, you know. And then it started up like, what?
What do you think the song's about?
It just, I don't know. I mean, I was really focused on like how the song made me feel, but I think it just sounds like there's somebody in their life that's causing chaos or whatever, but they're gonna stand up and they're not gonna let it take. Gotta bring myself back from the dead. Sometimes I hate the life I made. Everything's wrong every time. Pushing on, I can't escape. Or maybe they're the narcissist. I'm not sure. They might be the narcissist.
You're so cynical, narcissistic cannibal. I think that's like you like cannibalize yourself.
Oh.
You know.
Don't want to be silly and sly and defy you. Desecrate my mind and rely on you. So who's you think it's talking about there?
I think it's like two people talking.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to mess with you or hurt you or make you unclean, but in order to basically maintain the relationship, they've had to destroy their minds and rely on the other person, and he wants to break that and be free from him / her. Yep. But it's hard to do that when you're so run down because the person is just
that makes sense.
Just exhausts you emotionally, and some people it just suck the life out of you, and then make you reliant on them, and so it's like, you know, you try to break free from that because the person is so cynical all the time.
Wow. It's
really hard dealing with a person who's cynical all the time, who like finds the worst possible explanation for a person's motive. That's like probably one of the hardest things to deal with, because it's so frustrating. It's like every good thing happens, it's like turns around to something negative. It's like I guess that's one of the signs of being a narcissist, I guess.
Is that you turn everything to be bad?
You turn everybody's motive into something evil, because then it justifies your mistreatment of them. So even when they're doing something good to you, you can say, well, you just did that for this reason. so that you could justify being a complete jerk to everybody in your life.
Alarming.
Well, yeah, and it's like, you know, it's like, and then you think to yourself, well, why is this person cannibalizing himself? You know, that's a very interesting concept. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, the obvious answer is it's because they've consumed everybody in their life, so the only person left to consume is themselves. You know, because that's what they do.
Oh my gosh.
Like, we know people like that.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Just consuming the whole time. Then when that dinner was gone, they just collapse on themselves, and they're, you know, that's why they're so miserable all the time.
Yikes.
So it's like, that's one of the ways, that's why I always say, like, talk about, like, assume the best of a person until they prove otherwise. And it's like, it protects you from becoming this type of a person.
Yeah.
Because if you assume negativity on everybody that you meet, you're going to be a real jerk to everybody that you meet and justify it in your own mind.
Yeah.
And not apologize. Why would you apologize, or why would you try to fix it or become a better person if everybody around you is a terrible, evil person?
Mm-hmm. You can't celebrate the person either if you're too busy trying to analyze their motives and think they're bad and assuming that they're bad. Like, you can't celebrate them for who they are, because you'll miss all that because you have your theories.
Well, that's like the perpetual victimhood that every group or tribe is in now. Whether it's, oh, you're black and there's a set of victimizations. Oh, you're a white male, there's a set of victimizations. Oh, you're a woman. There's all these like cynical ways that you can identify as your group so that you can justify being an idiot to other people.
Oh.
So it's like, you know, Candace Owens, she goes in there, and instead of saying, we disagree with your politics, here's a sandwich, they kick her out of the restaurant.
Right.
You know, it's like,
yeah.
Because you just got this cynical, you know, mindset about people. It's insane.
Yep.
So then I think the person is responding by saying, sometimes I hate the life I made, everything's wrong every time. Well, duh. You know, if you're cynical, you know, like, of course you're going to hate the life you made, because everything's going to suck. But it's kind of like, you did that.
But the person can't.
You can't escape because it's in your own mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When he says, everything that comes my way is haunting me, taking its sweet time, what do you think that means?
Well, if you're a very cynical person, then everything that comes your way that's positive is going to be negative. So it haunts you because it's like,
you know, another thing is coming, some other terrible thing is coming, or
well, everything in your life is de facto has to be terrible, because the bad stuff is the bad stuff, and then you can go, I knew it, and then the good stuff, you're like, well, why? What's really going on?
Right. Yeah.
So it's like you're going to be haunted by everything that happens in your life because you're so, you know, you're so narcissistic and you're so cynical that there you are. And so, like, I think the person is saying, like, I gotta get you out of my life because, and it's like a tantamount to being risen from the dead.
Wow.
Because if you're around people like that long enough, they'll suck the life out of you. You really be a shell of yours. You be a dead person after that. You know, holding on, I'm lost in a haze, fighting life to the end of my days. There you are.
Jeez.
Like you're just in this constant battle all the time.
Now, which person is that? Couldn't that be both?
Yeah, it could be.
Who did you think when you were saying that part?
Huh?
When you read that part out, were you thinking it was both?
I didn't really sit and analyze that. I was just like, oh, an interesting line.
Oh.
Who do you think it is?
No, I just think both. I think both people get lost in the haze fighting the end of my days. Yeah, I think both of them are. Because I think the person that's stuck in that perpetual narcissistic, you know, negative way of thinking, I think that they would like to escape it if they thought they could, but I think they're so negative they can't get out of it. Or at least they, you know, and then it saps your energy, and then you're depressed, and when you're depressed it's hard to accomplish anything, and then you get depressed about the fact that you're not accomplishing anything, which sucks you into more depression. It's just a cycle, this downward spiral. And I think that the other person that's stuck around that person is constantly feeling like they're holding on to try to save this relationship, but this relationship is not beneficial for them as a person, and they're lost in a haze fighting to the end of but they're holding on. You know, some people just, you know, like, even though, you know, they can see that this relationship is not good, they'll keep holding on, You know, and I believe that marriage is important, and if you're in a marriage and you can work things out, that you should, you know. But there's some people that, you know, they see the signs even before they get married. Or I'm not saying if there's abuse or anything like that. I'm not saying any of that, but I'm saying, you know.
Well, I mean, it's not yet. Like, you know, you can have friends. You've had friends who've been Or you've got people
there's lots of relationships.
You know, it happens a lot with people that you try to help. You know, like you start off with really, really good motives. You want to help them, and then it's, you know, does the person really want to help, or do they like being miserable all the time? And then what happens is narcissistic people are brilliant manipulators.
Yep.
Because they'll start the relationship off by saying, everybody abandons me.
Yep.
So now you're fucked.
Yep.
Because now you
don't want to be that
get on
person.
your horse and start trying to rescue them, and then like you lose yourself.
Well,
and then when you're like, yo, I gotta pull out of this. Like, I can't return this call. I can't return this text. I can't return this Facebook message. Then it's, oh, yeah, here we go. Somebody's abandoning me.
Yeah.
You know, so
pressure's
it's like
on, and you know this can be parents.
Oh, for sure.
Brothers, sisters.
For sure. Yeah, it could be any.
This could be anybody.
It could be any relationship.
Yeah.
Like. They're like, you gotta watch for that stuff, man. You gotta really, and I'm not saying everybody who says everybody abandons me, like, is like that, you know, because I you know, I have abandonment issues, you know, as far as like, you know, growing up and such like that. So I'm not saying that. It's just like, if that's the start of the relationship, and like that's the role that you take, it's like, I'm not gonna abandon you person.
Right.
That's you're setting yourself up.
You need to just tell them right off the bat, look, I am not God.
Yeah.
And I will not be able to be there for you every second when
not
you need me. I'm not your savior. I'm not your own personal Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
What was that in? Was that on The Matrix?
Yeah, yeah, that's a pretty popular pop culture phrase.
Yeah. So, nah.
That's it. It's a tough world to live in, believe you me.
Don't want to be rude, but I have to. That line I kind of thought that was a little bit funny.
Why?
Because you know when people will be like, listen, no offense.
Yeah.
And you know they're about to say some real offensive shit. Yes, that's exactly
But how come black people never finish school? Motherfucker.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay. Well, it's very interesting, like, growing up, you know, or like...
Sorry.
Because I've moved all over the place, you know, like, I wasn't born and raised in New York City, so I've like, you know...
The irony of even your sentence, how comes?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't want to be rude. No offense, but...
Like, I'm not trying to be offensive, but...
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Don't finish. Just stop right there.
Unbelievable. Don't want to be rude, but I have to. You know,
but I know but I think it was different in this. It just reminded me of that when, you know, so it made me chuckle.
Well, you know, it's like, hey, it reminds me of a fight I had with my mom one time. I think I was like 16, 17. I was like, you moved us all around. We never finished school. We never had stability going on. And she's like, shut up. You got to see the world. Nothing's good about the hell you put me through. Like, my mom, like, in the middle of it, I was like, man, you know, like, we're at war. But, like, when you look back at it, like, it was fun. Both of us was so funny. Like, she did her best. Like, you tried being a single mom, Vin. Shut the fuck up. What do you know about it? But at the same time, my mom's like, you got to see the world.
You got to see the world.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. I got to see so many different schools.
All kinds of cultures.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to move next to the, down there in Florida. Got to move, you know. She's like, we're going to a new house. We're driving in, there's a fucking rows of Confederate flags.
Oh my gosh.
I looked at my brother, I said, what the fuck, man? He's like, we're fucked.
Oh my gosh.
There's a fire in the backyard. We called the what do you call it? The fire department or whatever. Like, they're like, they basically were like, you need to put that fire out yourself because you guys live a very long way. Good luck.
No.
Yeah, those motherfuckers didn't show up till like 2 hours later. Wallahi. They didn't show up till like 2 hours later.
Fire start.
Huh? Lightning, actually. True story.
Really?
Yeah, man. room. And I was excited. I was like, look at that shit, there's fire. And
you better put that out yourself.
Mr. Man was like, he's like, Beverly, we need to call the fire department.
The fire department.
She gets on the phone, she's like, what? Because my mom goes 0 to 60, like, what?
Whoa.
and then she basically, she yelled at them and hung up the phone. And I was overhearing them, and they're like, what's going on? And Mr. Merrill was like, what's going on, Beverly? And she basically explained it, and and he's like, okay. And Mr. Man, you know, my stepdad, he was from fucking the Bronx, New York. Like, he knew nothing about how to deal with this shit. So he's like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So what did you guys do?
Well, all those racist ass rednecks.
Yeah.
They all descended on our yard and
helped you.
It helped us. They were the only ones working. We didn't know what the hell to do.
You guys are standing there.
You got a guy from the Bronx, 3 kids, and a dude from and a woman from Jamaica. Like, none of us know how to handle any of that shit. Like, see you later.
What did your mom say when they were done? Like, was it?
They didn't say a word to us.
They just put out the fire.
They
and
were
left?
so helpful and never spoke a word to us. We lived there for like a year, 2 years. They never said a word to us. They put out the fire and jumped on their ATVs and off they went.
Their ATVs?
Well,
Are you
same
serious?
shit. We crashed.
They probably just didn't want the fire to go to their house.
We crashed in a ditch. We crashed it. No, because their house was like. We crashed in a ditch.
That's so weird.
And
Why
then
didn't they
literally
talk?
like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, the fire department showed up. My mother was like, "You're worthless."
You're worthless.
They turned them around. They're like, "Ma'am, just get out of
Did they
here."
really live that far away?
We were like out.
Yikes.
Yeah. But we had the weirdest neighbors. Like, we fell into a ditch one time in the car and we couldn't get out. And then like 5 of them rolled up in their ATVs. They did the little thing that y'all do. You have hatches or whatever you call them, and pulled us right out. My mom like pulled out a couple $100.
It's called a wench, I believe.
A wench, okay. And they're like,
really?
They're like, no, ma'am.
They said no, ma'am. What's that mean?
Because she tried to pay them.
Oh.
They were like, no, ma'am. It's basically like, if you would just be as kind as to stay in your yard. and then off they went again. Mad helpful. Just didn't want to talk to us. Didn't, whatever. It's just the strangest thing. So this has nothing to do with Korn, but there you are.
I know. Now I have a fire story I feel like telling, but
they were
let it go.
They were literally, of all the places we moved, they were literally the most helpful neighbors we've ever had.
Really?
Yeah, but it was just that
That's so weird.
But that's why I'm like the way that I am with racism. It's like they lived in that street their entire life. You were the only black family. They weren't going to be friends with us. But they the milk of human kindness, they're gonna help out. Just don't marry my daughter, Oh, looks like that didn't turn out too well for you. I'm going to hell. All right, so back to our regular scheduled program already in progress. So don't want to be rude, but I have to. Nothing's good about the hell you put me through. I just need to look around, see that life has come unbound. True, you gotta wake up and be like, ever since this person came into my life, everything's been fucked.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's different types of like, ever since this person's come into my life scenarios. Like, one of them is like, let's say somebody has like some horrible medical condition. Mm-hmm. So like, that's going to make your life difficult ever since they came into your life. Mm-hmm. But that's something different than a person just being a complete narcissistic jerk. Not the same thing.
Right, true.
So it's not like I don't think he's saying, if somebody makes your life difficult, get out of Dodge. I think what he's saying is like, there are people that it's like the whole frog in the water thing. Like, before you know it,
Oh, yeah. I totally
You just look around and go, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I'm miserable all the time. Why am I miserable all the time? I didn't used to be like this.
Yeah.
And that's one of the clear indicators that you need to bounce. Like, come on. Good night.
Let that be a lesson to you.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Okay, wait, where's the ending? There was another line at the ending. Whoa, why do you scroll like that? holding on, I'm lost in a haze, fighting life to the end of my days. I think that they didn't get out. I think they decided to hold on and just stay there. Holding on, I'm lost in a haze, fighting life to the end of my days. You think it sounds like they got out or no?
Well, no, it doesn't sound like in that particular song there was a conclusion. There's only so much you can say in 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Well, that's the end of the song. This is the beginning and end of somebody's total existence. If that was the case, wouldn't you say, yes, they never got out?
Well, yeah. That's an interesting line, fighting life till the end of my days.
That is interesting, actually, now that you pointed out.
Because, like, some stuff, it's like, that's just life, man. Like, yes. It's just life.
But there shouldn't be a freaking jihad from start to finish of all your days. I mean, struggle.
No, it means holy war and to kill. To kill.
To kill.
Chunk! Yeah, no, I mean, no, but I do think, though, that, like, again, with the Narcissistic Cannibal, if that's the guy that's speaking in this particular line, they fight life. They just can't let life, they can't deal with just regular basic shit that everybody else has to deal with.
Yeah.
And they turn it into this big giant thing. And they're the type of people that always say, I knew it. Seriously, like, that's a symptom. Like, if you're around somebody that always says, I knew it, that's not a good sign.
I say that sometimes.
I said always.
I knew it.
Knew it. Well, there's one thing where you said, I knew it, and you were right.
Yeah.
You should have seen the signs much earlier, man. That's your fault.
You're supposed to be my friend.
I am your friend, and then I read your journals, and then you were already saying, you know, no. This person does this, and that.
I saw the sign.
Yeah. No, it's I saw the sign, and I closed my fucking eyes. That's what you did.
I'm not happy now.
That's a Sori remix. You should have. I'm like, I remember reading your journal a couple years back, going, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" We were like completely off subject here.
Yeah.
But yeah, fighting life to the end of my days. It's like they always say, "I knew it." Like I had a good friend, like my best friend in high school. He was this type of person, and like I had to like move to another state to like get away from him. I love him to death. I take a bullet for him right now. I can't live around him. Because he's you know, the last time that I actually like hung out with him, we got into this giant conflict with all these people.
Yep.
And I it's like we had been through so much shit, and then there was a couple of years between, you know, seeing each other, and it was like, whoa, we made it out. And we used to talk on the phone like, I can't believe we made it out. And then I ran into him. We were hanging out in New York.
Lo and behold,
and then lo and behold, we're back in the same situation, and it was like one of the worst, potentially worst ones we were ever in. And I just remember being like, and the next day my brother was getting married, so I'm like, I'm either gonna be dead or hospitalized the day before my brother's
I remember
married.
You said, either way, I'm gonna ruin it.
Either way, I'm gonna ruin my brother's wedding because I'm hanging around with this narcissistic cannibal. God almighty.
Was he? Narcissistic Cannibal?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, really?
Oh, for sure.
I just thought he just liked conflict.
For sure. He was.
Wow.
He was. Love him, though. Okay. It's my guy.
Oh, you do. You talk about him a lot.
I do. I love him. What do you give the song?
A 10. I loved when the music was, like, going, and then it, like, stopped, and then it was like, boom, and it, like, hit you again. I was like, oh, my gosh!
7.5.
How can you give it a 7.5?
Because, like, when I actually listened to the riffage,
you didn't like it.
Da-dun, 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 da-dun.
I think that you should give it a higher score just because you love me. Go ahead, go ahead. Please, it's very important to me that this one gets a higher rating.
7.6.
What did you give it before, a 7?
7.5.
Come on! It's just that little bit? Just give it an
8. 7.7.
No, 8.
That's my final answer.
Please give it an 8.
Okay, an 8.
Okay, 8 for Vin, 10 for me.
Vin out.
Sori out.
I think there's a fire outside. Maybe my KKK neighbors will help us.
Oh, gosh.
No!